Hey, what's going on, Freedomers? Happy listening. And there's this wonderful, wonderful app called the Anchor app where you would never in a million years think that you can do a um, you can do podcast for free from your cell phone because you think that you need also equipment and you don't. All you need is your cell phone, Wi-Fi, and just persistence. And there you go, a podcast, and you can be like the legendary podcast you see on YouTube, etc., etc. So join now and download the Anchor app in your Play Store, and happy listening, and go create something great.
Hey, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, missioners? Okay, so here's what I just learned from my roommate. Right, one of the scariest things, and this podcast is gonna be called personal responsibility. Here's what she taught me. Right, she reflected to me. She reflected to me that um, she reflected to me how you need to take personal accountability and personal responsibility. Um, and she reflected to me how we lack so much accountability and so much responsibility. Here's what I mean by that. She said, these men, you're not dating men, it's these men and these men this and these men that. Here's what I learned when you blame outside circumstance and you only make it about outside circumstances. And when you talk about yourself, you talk about what you did not learn. You don't take no accountability of you learning, studying, growing, or even changing your inner dialogue about what type of man you desire, right? And I didn't have a relationship with my mom, and I faced some abandonment issues where women don't want to be there, but that's because of my chart where they're teaching me to be self-reliant, right? And the lesson. But if I always say, but I've had some great, powerful women in my life, and that's my fault. And here's what the thing what I've learned about taking certain personal accountability. The way Neville Goddard says it is every person that you call into your universe is your doing. You're doing, right? So when you have that, it's like when you always blaming somebody for, oh, these people this and these people that, it's like, but that's your fault. I don't understand that. Well, how do you blame the whole world and when it comes to you, well, it's because I didn't know this, because I didn't know that. Bitch, what? Where they do that at? Like, how do you you know what I'm saying? Like you never grow because you talking about, oh, it's their fault. Bitch, the bill collector don't be like, oh, damn, you don't blame the bill collector when you can't pay the bill. You have to blame you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's amazing how, especially our women, love to say it's these men. And they never take no accountability of who they are, what they do, what they chose, how they grew up, and understanding that it's not that it's just not all that I know, it's all that I've ever seen, and based on the fact that it's all that I've ever seen, it's all that I'll ever select, unless I make the deliberate decision to have better, you know. And my roommate was like, "Oh, you're not dating these men." I said, "I'm a man, and I'm gonna tell you that what you're saying is bullshit. If you did, because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If you see in the same person in your universe over and over and over again and over again, and I'm good. If you see in the same person in your universe, you gotta get to, and you're the common denominator. Whose fault is that? And that's what I mean. Like, because life has taught me that if you're seeing the same person, different mask, you cannot blame it's not the person, it's you. Real rap. If you see in the same person, and I'm not saying these men are the greatest on planet Earth, because a lot of men, are being effeminized. A lot of men are not growing with their fathers in their life. A lot of men are not trained to be masculine. Um, but when you say stuff like it's these men, it's these men, it's these men, and you're of a certain age, it's like, but if you keep seeing the same person or the same lesson over and over and over, and you're the common denominator, I mean, shit. It's time. I think it's time for you to look in the motherfucking mirror. You know. I think it's time for you to be like, yo, what the fuck going on with me? You know what I'm saying? And really, and I get it. How it's like, and really understand what are you doing on yourself. That what are you doing on yourself to work to work on yourself. What are you doing to fill your own cup? And here's what I've learned about a lot of women is that a lot of women don't take time to fill their own cup, and then they blame the world when the world reflects that to them. You hear what I'm saying? Like it's weird because they don't fill their own cup. And now here's what I mean by that. I mean not make a whole bunch of money. Meaning like doing the internal work, having the values set in place, rearranging, investing in their mind to where they're a certain place internally. Because believe it or not, for a woman to keep a man a lot of the time, it's not really just a physical thing, which is important. Beauty is how men rank you. But like, who are you on the internal radar? Like, real rap. Like, who are you? And a lot of women are not sufficing internally. You know, you can kind of just emotionally, you can kind of tell them anything, and they kind of fall for this shit. Real rap. But, and then on top of that, they don't, I think a lot of women as well don't take the time to learn men. They assume how men think. And I said, nah. And I'm about to post that. I said, if you see it in the same man over and over and over and over and over again, that's your fault. Please don't blame men. And if you're gonna say something, understand men. Like, understand men before you say, oh, it's all the men's fault. That sounds childish as hell. It's all the men's fault. I can't go around here saying it's all the women's fault. That shit sounds dumb as hell. If I'm meeting the same woman if I'm meeting the same type of woman over and over and over and over and over again, I can't go around blaming no woman. That shit sound dumb as hell. That shit sound dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? That shit sound dumb as hell. I'm blaming the woman because I'm meeting the same woman. I gotta realize how and here's a real honest question. How's my relationship with my mother? You know? How's my relationship with my inner feminine? How's my emotional tact? Like, I can't sit here blaming women, so it's their fault. And, like, I sound dumb as hell saying it's their fault. I mean, that sound cute, but that ain't real. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you meeting the same dude, bro, that's your fault. That ain't nobody's fault at all. Like, that really ain't nobody's fault. Oh shit. That really ain't nobody's fault. That really ain't nobody's fault but your own. You know what I'm saying? Real rap. That really ain't nobody's fault. You know what I'm saying? Real rap. That really ain't nobody's fault but your own. And she really made me think, You really gotta see past your pain goggles or your emotional body, because if you don't, you only see the world through your pain. And she actually made me want to. She actually kind of like turned me off to some extent to talk to her, because it's like you see through the pain of your emotional goggles, and that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to deal with when you're with a woman, where she only sees life through her emotional goggles, and or her emotional pain goggles. Let me say that, because you get this bullshit. You get a reality that's not your own, and real rap. You gotta really be grounded and be stoic, because if you don't, like, you're fucking missing it, because you so overly emotional of oh shit, what the hell? You overly emotional about what's happening. Yeah. What is he going? But yeah, that's the end of this podcast. You have to take really deep emotional responsibility to learn, study, become, and but also here's the thing: if you don't always have time to study, become, learn, like, at least speak what you want into your world, so you can see a difference. Um, and I think because you do really do become who you are. Um, yeah, you really do become who you are.